Leo full moon today, February 1st. Let's talk about it. Leo is a fixed masculine fire temple of the sun, and thus rules leadership and authority figures and people in positions of power. It rules the intellect and wisdom, in that it is the illuminator, and chases away the darkness of night and brings forth the day, and grants proportion, clarity, dimension, and definition. It is our core values and principles and what we strive towards, who we strive to be and become, and thus is associated with our identity and our self-expression and our authenticity. It is loyalty, royalty, passion, and joy, and many other things. I think the moon in Leo is asking us to examine our subconscious patterns and ingrained projections around what it means to lead, what it means to be strong, what it means to be in the spotlight and in the limelight, what it means to have attention on us, and simultaneously what we have our attention on. What are we striving towards? What are our goals and aspirations? What are our core values and principles? Are they striving towards something that is transcendent, or are they striving towards something that is ultimately impermanent and is subject to entropy and decay? I think with Leo, the desire to actualize and strive towards an ideal is so strong, and they will do it. Leo will do it. It's the sun. So much so to the point that they probably have had to fight for what they believe in. All the fire signs have to fight for what they believe in. And Leo is no different. It has met opposition. Some people don't understand its specific goals and aspirations and ideals. And for better or worse, it continues towards them because it has a dream for what it thinks to be a better world, and a better world for itself and hopefully for others. And that's how it strives to be unique. Uniqueness is a very fire sign, a very Leo thing specifically. Leo and Aries, but Leo for sure. And our goals and our aspirations that shape us into who we are do help us to be unique, and that is really important to be examined. We're going to examine what it means to be strong, what it means to have strength in the face of opposition, what it means to be assertive, how we step into self-assertion. When the sun is involved in the equation, I always think about, because Leo is about the spotlight, thus it's very theatrical, for better or worse. I think about if our identity is real, or if it's only a role that we are putting on, like a performance that we're putting on to appear to be integrated, to appear to be a leader, to appear to have it all figured out, or what have you. So I think the sun asks us, is this real or is it a role? And not that roles are bad, because I think everyone has their own role to play in the theater of life. There's no role that is useless, or no one that is useless. And everyone has their own personal light that they shine forth. And that's what the sun does. It just shines. It can't do anything else. And so the part of ourselves that represents our core values and our striving towards them is just going to shine forward. And, especially these days, and especially in the West, people are like, yeah, you have to go for what matters to you and all that. And that is true. I think that there are ways to do that, though, lest we fall into the unskillful application of Leo energy, um, where instead of the childlike joy and authenticity and self-expression, we fall into childish self-centeredness and selfishness and arrogance and tyranny, like a tyrannical king, thinking that we're the sun and the planets revolve around us. Apt analogy. I always think of this analogy. I cannot remember where I heard it from, but it really stuck with me. When you're making a fire and you're in a tent or a teepee or whatever, or what is the word I'm looking for? I can't remember. But like a tent where you can put fire in. When you make the fire, you want to make sure that everything around it is illuminated. If you put in too little fuel, too little firewood, it's going to burn too dimly and you're not going to be able to see anything. If you put in too much, it's going to burn everything else around it up. It's going to be too hot to sit around. If you do it just right, every single thing is illuminated and has proportion and definition. And so I think that there is a skill in being truly authentic, to where you're not just playing a role and putting on a performance to dim yourself, and you're not blotting everything and everyone else out around you, because your truth is the one that matters the most. Your expression is the one that matters the most. There can be a dogmatism with Leo, but when we stoke the flames just right, we allow everyone to shine. And that's what we do in like being a person, being a human being. Every single person has their own light to shine. And that's very important and very vital for everyone to realize and strive towards. It's going to look different for everyone. This lunation is taking place in opposition to like 5 planets in Aquarius. So I think the Aquarius-Leo axis is very alive right now. And I think that with Mars, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto all in Aquarius, I think that we might see an urge to take action regarding alarming data analysis and how we treat our fellow human beings, how we relate to them. We could see deceitful manipulation of data by authorities that shocks the people. I wrote notes on it. That enrages people into action. Something else that came through for me is that a society and a collective is made up of individuals. You can't have one without the other. And so while Leo teaches us that individuality, I think Aquarius is like, okay, how can we all put our individualities together to make something that is greater than the sum of its parts? How can we synergistically make something that is more utopian and that creates a better future for everyone, not just for one person? And I think that every single thing in the world has a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. And that is so vital to realize. There's nothing or no one that does not have a role to play in the creation of a better world. And we are not like just cogs in a machine. We are living and breathing components of a living cosmos. We are living and breathing components of a sociological ecosystem that requires all of us to pitch in, requires all of us to do the work to realize our goals. And by stepping into that authenticity, we step into our identity and we give others permission to do the same. So, happy Leo full moon.